Prospero. And Holly Weiss, 8th-ranked OU, looks to repeat. However, it won't be easy. Trisha Wu leads traditional power Nebraska. Defending all-around champ Adrianne Perry pilots Missouri. Jasmine Thompson will look to lead Iowa State home to victory. The 2009 Big 12 Gymnastics Championships are next. From Iowa State University in Ames, Iowa, it's the 2009 Big 12 Gymnastics Championships. Last year's all-around champion Adrianne Perry from Missouri is back again in 09 for the Tigers. And it was just last March she claimed Mizzou's first ever Big 12 conference title in the all-around. Can she do it again? John Roethlisberger's a 3-time U.S. Olympian. He's with us. I'm Dan McLaughlin, and we are delighted to have you with us here in Ames. What do you think we can expect here this afternoon?
Well, I'll tell you what, Dan, I expect to see something that I don't expect to see. You know, at last year's Big 12 Championships, Iowa State, which was the big underdog, almost stole it from Oklahoma right at the end, only to lose by a tenth. It was an amazing competition, and I fully expect tonight to have some surprises for us.
Oklahoma and Nebraska, they are considered powerhouses in the sport. Let's highlight some of their stars.
Yeah, Oklahoma and Nebraska should be considered the favorites coming into this competition. And for Oklahoma, they have tremendous depth, but two of their best 2008 Big 12 champions, Holly Weiss and Haley DeProspero, are ones to watch. Holly obviously on bars and beam, Haley one of their best all-arounders. If Oklahoma is going to win again, they're going to have to rely on these two for sure. And as for Nebraska, there's no more Emily Parsons, but there is Trisha Wu, one of the most fun gymnasts to watch in tonight's competition. And she's a leader not just gymnastically, but emotionally for Nebraska.
So what needs to happen if you're Iowa State or Missouri to win this championship?
Well, interestingly enough, Missouri has always been one of those teams that kind of needed a little bit of help to win, but I think this might be the year that they don't. They have a great team. They have a lot of depth, obviously led by Adrianne Perry, but they have got another great all-arounder. Actually, the highest-ranked all-arounder from the Big 12 in the NCAA this year is Sarah Shire. And so they've got some great talent and some great depth, and watch for them. This could be their first ever conference title. As for Iowa State, big surprise last year that they were that close to winning it. They're led by this girl, Jasmine Thompson. She's outstanding in the all-around. Iowa State might need a little bit of help from the other teams in order to win, but if they go out there and hit, as we've seen, anything can happen.
Iowa State, Missouri, Oklahoma, Nebraska, all gunning for the Big 12 championship. We'll start things off when we come back to Ames, Iowa, and Hilton Coliseum next.
The Big 12 online store is the place to...
12 Gymnastics Championship is brought to you by the American Airlines Center. Host of the 2009 USA Gymnastics Visa Championships this August 12th through the 15th. So here we go for the 2009 Big 12 Gymnastics Championship from Ames, Iowa. And let's tell you how this format works and the breakdown. 4 competing teams: Oklahoma, Missouri, Nebraska, and Iowa State. The 4 events: floor, vault, beam, and bars. John, out of those 4, what stands out for you?
Well, looking at the rotation there and the 4 events, I talked to all the coaches, or a coach from each team before the competition, and they all love where they start. I'm like, how do you feel about starting on beam? We love it. How do you feel about starting on floor? We love it. I don't think it matters where they start. They're going to find a way to love it no matter what.
Defending champ is Oklahoma. They're number 8 in the country at 10-4. And we will start on the beam with Ashley Jackson, who is a senior from Hudsonville, Michigan, and East Kentwood High School. The junior missed All-American status by .025 on bars at the NCAA championship just a year ago.
Now, talking about starting positions, I will be honest with you. If you're a coach and you're a gymnast, you really don't like to start on beam. If you're nervous at all, which you are in competition, you certainly don't want to have to jump up on the 4-inch wide balance beam to start your competition. However, if you can start on beam and knock it out of the park, I'll tell you what, the confidence you have going to the rest of the events is outstanding.
I find it interesting in talking with you about this. We were watching them warm up, and I said, you guys are crazy. You gymnasts, I can't believe you do this. And you told me, hey, you still get nervous. There's a little bit of a fear factor, especially on the beam.
Oh, definitely. Even as a spectator, and certainly when I was doing gymnastics, obviously I didn't do balance beam, but there's always a little nervousness as an athlete that that wipeout could be anywhere looming in the future. But you got to be confident, and they've done it a long time. And And, you know, once they get to this point, they've got enough confidence to overcome any nervousness that they might have.
For the average fan out there that's watching right now, what are the judges looking for in evaluating the team and the process that goes into play? What are they looking at?
Well, there are certain requirements, and one of the biggest things that you're going to see from the gymnast is the acro series, and we saw that from Ashley right at the beginning. She did the layout step out, and that's a big part of the routine, and she's got a big dismount right here. It's a double back, the only one doing that dismount in this competition. So those are two big elements to watch, and certainly are they going to stick those landing.
The top-ranked squad in the Big 12 this season, number 8 in the country. They hold the highest RQS average of any conference squad on vault, bars, and here the beam.
Take another look at this dismount. Round off on the end of the beam, double back, and look at that space she has to put her feet. Very, very difficult, and a great start for Oklahoma.
Mary Burke on bars from Missouri, a freshman from Illinois. And what are we watching out for here, partner?
Well, you know, uneven bars always is about big releases and big dismounts, and Mary has been a rock, to say the least, for Missouri all season long. She competed all around in all 11 meets, and as a freshman, that's a tough, tough task. There's one of those releases that's called the Ganger. Now, this is a good routine, but if you look closely, you're seeing some small foot breaks, feet are coming apart slightly, having a little trouble in that low bar. You got to really hit those handstands too. That's something else to watch for when they do the cast handstand like that, or any pirouetting skill. She manages to get through it, minimizes any of those errors, but she is going to get nickeled and dimed a little bit throughout that routine. Probably won't be one of the highest scores we see tonight on that event.
Mary Burke, the freshman from Mizzou.
Take another look at this dismount. It's a very tough dismount because it's a blind landing. Anytime you're going forward like that, you don't see the floor until the last second, but she does it with perfection.
Back to bars. This is Adrianne Perry for Missouri, and she is a Columbia, Missouri native, the senior.
And certainly one of the leaders, and I know she would like to finish her career at Mizzou with a team championship, the first ever for Missouri. And it's going to be a big task. You know, that obviously Oklahoma, Nebraska, tough squads, and she really is going to have to be on her game tonight. Her and Sarah Shire, both top all-around, are going to have to perform well. And this event was a little bit challenging, you know, watching them work out yesterday a little bit. It looked like Adrianne was spending a little extra time on the bars. I don't know if she has extra concerns about this event or not, but certainly one that she's capable of performing well on.
Well, we talked about it at the beginning of our program here, that she claimed Missouri's first ever Big 12 conference title in the all-around. Big question, can she do it again?
She's got her work cut out for her. So far, this routine is very clean. Again, watch those handstands. That straddle back was a little bit flat.
When you say flat, describe what you mean.
When you go for those handstands, you got to be perfectly vertical. So when I say flat, they're just shy of hitting that handstand, and that's where the judges can hit her. But that routine was good. Good dismount. We saw the same dismount that we saw moments ago. Take another look at this. It's a half-in double front out. Nice landing. Missouri's looking good. They're gonna be happy with this performance. They want to finish with some big ones here at the end, though.
That's Adrianne Perry, the senior from Columbia, Missouri. The floor exercise with Nikki Dilbert of Iowa State, a junior. And Iowa State really struggled this year. They were 1-10 in competition, 0-4 inside the conference.
She's got robo elbow going there. She looks like she's Barry Bonds batting from the left side of the plate there, but nice combination pass to start off. A little low on that punch front. Very difficult three salto combination. She obviously has had some elbow issues, and that's more of a precautionary detail at the moment, but the floor is all about showing it off, and obviously we'll see some great routines tonight, but Nikki doing a good job. And as far as events to start on, floor is a good one because you have a lot of energy coming in. You're amped up. And this is one of those events, really vault probably being the favorite event to start on because you can just let it fly. Floor is right behind that one.
Well, Nikki from Minnesota made her season debut on floor against West Virginia.
She's got to be a good kid if she's from Minnesota. I mean, that's my home state after all.
I figured that you would come into play with that. Is this the exercise that you want to do, especially, you know, doing this in front of your home fans too?
Oh, definitely. You know, the fans just feed that energy and get you pumped up, and you know, you go a little higher. You know, you got the home fans behind you. Good job from Nikki. And Iowa State again. They really need to be perfect tonight. They got no room to wiggle.
Next up, the parallel bars for Missouri will be on balance beam for Oklahoma. Next up, Holly Mike.
Take another look at this last path. Fairly simple path, but when you do simple gymnastics and they're playing a little bit safe on some of their routines tonight, you've got to do it perfect, and that was a nice finish.
You're watching the 2009 Big 12 Gymnastics Championship. From Nikki to her teammate when we come back.
Thompson from Iowa State. And coming up, the first rotation continues with me on the floor at the side.